Shut up and sit down.
What's the story, Internet? Hope everyone is having a wonderful day, and I hope you are all ready for another thrilling day of Champions League football. So without further ado, I am going to jump into it. One match I do just want to make a fleeting mention is the postponed match from yesterday, PSG versus Istanbul Başakşehir. I'm not sure if it's going to be played out in its entirety or if it's going to be played from the 24th minute onwards, because that's when the players walked off, but that is happening today at 9:55. Midtjylland versus Liverpool. It is in Midtjylland, however, I'm afraid I can't see them making a stir. I think that Liverpool, even if they put out the youth academy, I think they're just going to coast. And even if Midtjylland did win, bottom of the table with 1 point, Liverpool are ahead on 4 points, they're going to finish top of the group. Doesn't really matter what happens in that match. The big match in that group, though, in Group D, is Ajax versus Atalanta, because Atalanta are in second on 8 points, Ajax are in third on 7 points, and they have an equal goal difference. Different goals for, different goals against, but they have a level goal difference of 1. So that means that whoever wins tomorrow will be going through to the Champions League. Whoever loses goes through to the Europa League. If it ends in a draw, then that means Atalanta go through because they have 1 more point. So Ajax need to win. They need to win in Amsterdam. Nothing more, nothing, well, can't get anything more, but nothing less. Draw won't do, can't lose, they've got to win. Atalanta have to get an equal or better result to Ajax. So they have to draw with them and go through, or they have to beat them. If they lose, they're out into the Europa League. Very, very interesting. Everything to play for. So I can see it being a very, very interesting match tomorrow to see how that goes. So next match after that is Bayern Munich versus Lokomotiv Moscow. Bayern Munich already through first. No one can catch them. Lokomotiv Moscow, however, have things to play for, because if they won, then they go level on points with Atletico Madrid. They currently have the same goal difference with level goals for and level goals against. And Atletico Madrid lose, they could go through to the Champions League. If Atletico Madrid win, then they will go through to the Europa League. So everything to play for Lokomotiv Moscow. I'm sure they'll go out into the Allianz Arena and absolutely play their hearts out. It's just whether or not Bayern will allow them to even get the opportunities. The other match in that group is Red Bull Salzburg versus Atletico Madrid, as previously mentioned. So Red Bull Salzburg are 1 point ahead of Lokomotiv at the moment on 4, and they will be playing at home against Atletico Madrid. So Salzburg just needs a better Lokomotiv Moscow score. So I'm getting my Russian teams mixed up. If they lose to Atletico Madrid and Bayern beat Lokomotiv, they're fine. If Bayern and Lokomotiv draw and Salzburg loses, then if I'm doing my calculations right, Lokomotiv go through. However, I think it depends on the goals for, goals against, because Salzburg have 10 goals for and 15 against. So they're doing very well in the goals for category. So I don't know if that will go for them. But if Lokomotiv win and Salzburg lose, then they're out. They're not even in the Europa League. They're out completely. So very, very interesting. Very interesting possibilities. There's still a chance for Atletico Madrid to not go anywhere. They might make it into the Europa League. They might not get in anywhere because of the way that the points are working. So very, very interesting in Group A. Definitely all to play for those 3 teams. Like I said, Bayern are already through. So we'll see which Bayern shows up, whether they want to go for it or whether they just want to coast and go for the weekend. Not sure who they're playing this weekend. Let's see. They are playing Union Berlin, so it's not like they've got a big match, but they still want to do well. So Real Madrid versus Mönchengladbach. So this is leading us into the interesting group, the group of death, Group B, because we've got Mönchengladbach are in first on 8 points. Then Shakhtar and Real Madrid are both on 7 points, and Inter Milan are on 5. So could go either way. It really could. But we could have a scenario where Mönchengladbach don't get anywhere. We could have a scenario where they finish in the Europa League. any one of these 4 teams can go in any of the positions, mathematically. So we've got Mönchengladbach versus Real Madrid in the Bernabeu, and then we've got Shakhtar versus Inter Milan, which is in the San Siro. So 2 very interesting matchups there. All 4 teams will have to give it their all, because if Mönchengladbach win, then that effectively puts Real Madrid into the Europa League. Unless Inter win by a big enough margin that the goal difference makes a difference. It's very, very interesting in Group B. It literally could go any way. We're not going to know until the end of the day tomorrow. It's a little bit like Manchester United's group, Group H, where going into it, it could have gone, it was a 3-way tie, except this one's 4-way. So very, very interesting. Everything to play for in that group. Then the final group, we have Group C. So we have Manchester City versus Marseille and Porto versus Olympiacos. Now, City's already through. It's just a case of whether or not they're coming first or second. Porto were also already through. Again, just a case of whether or not first or second. City are 3 points ahead on 13, and Porto have 10. Olympiacos and Marseille are playing for the Europa League. They're both on 3 points. But Olympiacos are currently in third with a better goal difference of -6 versus -8. So if Marseille can get anything against City and Olympiacos can't do anything against Porto, it's potential. If City wins and Porto wins, I'm relatively sure it'll stay the same with the difference of goal difference. If Porto absolutely destroy Olympiacos and City only wins 1-0, it could change. But it's all to play for those 2 teams. Are they going to get in the Europa League? Are they not going to get in the Europa League? City and Porto don't have a lot to play for. City's looking towards the Manchester derby this weekend. Porto, I'm not sure who they're playing in the Portuguese league. But unless they're playing a big derby match like Braga or Sporting Lisbon or Benfica, I don't think it's going to be that big of a case of they should rest players. But they're already through. How much do they want to throw in to get into first? Because first means that you'll play second from another group. Now that doesn't always mean the easier draw. That could mean that you'd be facing, say, like a Lazio, or depending on how the other group goes, a Real Madrid, a Mönchengladbach, a Shakhtar, or an Inter Milan. So first doesn't always automatically mean that you're going to get an easier draw. It just means there's a better opportunity for an easier draw, because that means it's a team that didn't do as well in that group. So another interesting group, just to see where everyone finishes. It's not necessarily the most interesting group. It's not like the other aforementioned group, but definitely something to keep an eye on, just to see how the 4 teams line up, especially the 2 that are already through. How much are they going to throw at not necessarily a lost cause, but they're already done. So ones to watch out for tomorrow, obviously Inter Milan versus Shakhtar, Real Madrid versus Mönchengladbach. And then the Salzburg Atletico Madrid, just to see how that shakes up and how that affects Lokomotiv Moscow. But yeah, that's my preview for these matches. I hope you all enjoy another wonderful day of Champions League football. I'll be back with you later on today for a review of these matches, let you know the ins and outs, let you know if that PSG Istanbul match has made any splashes, made any difference on Manchester United's fate. And then I'll be back with you tomorrow for a preview of the Premier League matches, anything else around the other leagues, if there are any other big matches, any derbies or anything like that. So until then, I hope you're all staying safe, keeping out of trouble. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. And ta-ra for now.